Okay. Okay, sir. Hello, everyone. Hello. 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 Good evening. Am I audible? Please write in the chat box. We will be start in within 5 minutes. Please wait. So everyone, please call your friends. Share the link of this session to in your every groups. We will start within 5 minutes. Hello everyone. We will be starting at sharp 15, 8:15. So call your friends. So, hello everyone. My name is Bhavya Agarwal, and today I will teach you some basic concepts of Java. Till now, we have created a good looking layout with the help of XML. But when you run your app, which you have created in the last workshop on your phone or emulator, then you will see that your app looks good but did not respond on your touch. When you click the button, it does not do anything. Actually, XML only provide the layout to your app. It is just like the body without the brain. And here the role of Java came, which provide the brain to your app. Actually, Java is the one which tells your app what to do on user touch. Basically, there are two programming languages which are used in Android development, Java and Kotlin. In this workshop, we will teach you Java. So, one question came in your mind that why Java only? Why not others? The answer is that Java can work on any platform with great community support and easy to learn. Java has multiple open source libraries which can be studied, copied, or can be used in your app to work fine. So, with that, we will start. So, variables and data types. So what are variables? Variables are like containers in Java that contains a value of certain type. So variables are like containers which can contain some value. It can be of any type. It can be integer value, or it can be some text value, or anything. It can be some decimal value also. What type of value a variable can store is tell by its type. Its data type actually. And when we declare a variable, we give a name to a variable which cannot be changed once created. So at the time of declaration, the user give a variable a name which cannot be changed further. You have to remember one thing: the variable can be named anything except some keywords which are defined by Java. For example, you cannot give int as a variable name. For if these values cannot be given as a variable name. So some of the example of variables are like Iron Man, Hulk, student present. These are some examples you can give a variable as a name. You have to remember one thing also, that Java is a case sensitive language. So in Java, a variable with small letters and a variable with capital red letters are treated as different. So you have to take care of this. Then data types. So what are data types? So in the previous slide I have told you that variables are of certain types. So those types are known as data types. So basically there are many data types in Java, but we will read some of them which is required in a workshop. First one is int data type. So int data type is the data type which stores the integer value. For example, 489. So it will create a variable which will store the integer value. The second one is double data type. It is used to store the some real number value which can contain some decimal part also. So double data type is used to store the a decimal value. Note that it can also store some integral value also. The third one is char. The char data type creates a variable which contains a single character. For example, a single a, a single ampersand, anything. Remember that when you creating a character variable, you have to write it in single underscore inside the single inverted commas, so that it is like syntax of Java, that you have to write single character inside single inverted comma. The fourth one is string. String data type is used to store some messages like symbols, just like area of characters or some text value. For example, like Android, we have Android. This is stored in a string variable. The variable is string data type. Note that it is written inside the double inverted commas. So when we give a variable value of a string, then we have to write it in double inverted commas. The fifth one is Boolean data type. The Boolean data type is stores two type of value. It can be either true or false. It cannot have any other value. So when we create a variable of a Boolean type, it will have either true value or false value. So the syntax of data type is like that. uh, we have to first write the data type, or what is the data type of a variable. Then we will write the name of the data variable which is given by the user. So this is the name of the variable which is given by user, and first one is data type, and then we will assign some value to it. This equal to sign is the assignment operator, which will assign the right value to the left. So it will assign value to the variable name. For example, I have shown you in the last slide syntax. So here's the example. We have created a variable a, which is of int data type, and we have assigned the value 5 to it. Similarly, we have created two more variables b and str, where b is of double type and have value 9.876. and str is a string type value which contains a value yes within double underscore within double inverted commas. And here we have this double forward slash signs. These are used for comment in Java. So what are comments? Comments are used to write some messages for different users which will read this code. So the comments are ignored by Java compiler and cannot be and will not be executed by Java compiler. So we can write anything inside these comments. Then we have this system.out.println line. So what does this line do? This line will print what we have to print onto the screen. So here we write inside the parenthesis a. So this will print out the value of a on the screen. So this system.out.println of a will print out the value of a on the screen. So this is like just like a cout in C++. So it will print the value of a variable on the screen. So next are operators. So what are operators? Operators are used to perform operations. So what are operators? Operators for suppose we want to do some operations, some addition operation, subtraction operation, multiplication operation. So for this we will use operators. So basically there are three type of operators: arithmetic operators which will do arithmetic operation. Second one is logical operator and relational operator. So first we will go with arithmetic operators. So what are arithmetic operators? Arithmetic operators are like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. So addition operator will do addition, subtraction operator will do subtraction, and then third one is multiplication operator which will multiply. When we write a into b, then it will multiply both the numbers and give us the result. And then we the division which we have already know that a divided by b, then it will give out the value of when a is divided by b. And the next is modulo operator. So what does this modulo operator do? The modulo operator is used to get the reminder when a value is divided by another value. For example, we write a modulo b, then it will give us output the reminder when a is divided by b. For example, here we have 5 modulo 2. So it will give us the reminder when 5 is divided by 2. So when 5 is divided by 2, our reminder is 1. So it will give us 1 as an output. Then the increment operator, which is known as plus plus sign. This plus plus sign is known as increment operator, which will increase the value of the variable by 1. So currently, for example, we have a variable a which has value 10, and we will use a plus plus. So it will increase the value of a by 1 and the value of a become 11. And similarly, minus minus operator, which is known as decrement. So it will decrease the value of a and the value of a will become 9. Then relational operators. So what are relational operators? Relational operators actually compare two variables. Relational operators compares two variables and give us the output either true or false. For example, here a is greater than b, a is greater than equal to b. So it will tell whether a is greater than b or not. So it will return true if a is greater than b. And these all are you all are familiar with these. And the second last one is equal to operator, which is known as comparison operator, which will compare the value of a with b. So it will return true if the value of a is equal to b, else it will return false. And the last one is not equal to operator. It will return true if the value of a is not equals to b. Then we have logical operators. So what are logical operators? So first one is double and sign, which is known as AND logical operator, and then OR and NOT. So these three are similar to the gates which you have studied, logical gates. You will give two input to them and they will give a single output. So what a AND operator do? So it will compare, it will take two statements, two relational statement, and check whether both are true or not. So and will return true only when both are true. So if first and second, when both are true, then it will return true. So since in this example both the statements are true, then it will return true. And the second one is or operator. Or operator will return true if anyone is true. So in this no one is true, so it will return false. And the third one is not operator, which will toggle the value of the result. Means it will return true if the value is coming false, and it will return false if the value is coming true. So we have compared x is equals to y. Since this is false, so this is false, and we have used not operator. So it will toggle the value false, and it will give us output as true. So here is a quick question for you. We have created four variables a, b, c, and d of and we have assigned some values to them. So can you answer what are the data types of a, b, c, and d? Please write your answer in the comment box. So please everyone write the answer in the comment box. What are the data types of a, b, c, and d? Yeah. So yeah, many have written the correct answer. So yeah, in this, A is a string data type, and B is integer, and third is double, and the fourth one is string data type. So many has doubt that it is string or character. So I have told you earlier that we have used double inverted commas, which are used for string. So the fourth one is do not think like that it has single character, so it will store in char. It has double inverted comma, so it will store in string data type only. Next are conditional statements. So what are conditional statements? Suppose you want to execute code only when some condition is fulfilled. So when you want to check, for example, you are giving voter ID cards. So you will check whether the age of a person is greater than 18 or not. So if the age of a person is greater than 18, then you will give him PAN card or voter ID card, or else you will not give. So you will have to check some condition. Then you will perform some operations. So you for this we use if else statement, which are known as conditional statements. So for example, the here we have some code written here. So what is this code? First of all, we will read this. The code inside the curly braces is executed only when the condition is true. So what is this? So if as syntax, like first we write if, then we have a parenthesis, and we have curly braces, and we have code written inside the curly braces. So we will check the condition inside the parenthesis. If the condition is true, then the code inside the curly braces will be executed. Else, we will not execute the code inside the curly braces. So here the value of the number is 10. And since it is greater than 0, so we will execute the code inside the curly braces. And in the second case, the value, the condition is false because the number is equals to 10, and we are checking that number is less than 10. So since the condition is false, it will not execute the code inside the curly braces. Then here we can use if and else. What is else if else? So if condition is not true, then it will check for else if condition, and if else if is not true, then it will check for else condition. So in this example, a number is 2. So it will check number is greater than 0. So if this is true, then it will execute its code. Then it will check for else if condition. If this is true, then it will execute its code. And once it will execute any of the code in the if else if block, then it will go up to the end of the block. So if none of the if else if is true, then it will execute else block. It is the means it is, if none one is true from above, then it will execute itself. Then another, we have iterative statements. So what are iterative statements? Suppose you have to write your name 20 times on the screen. So you have two options. Either you can write your name 20, print line statement 20 times, or you can use the iterative statements for it. Suppose you need to print a line 10 times. For example, here written, suppose you need to print a line 10 times, then either you write same line of code 10 times, or you can use the iteration statement. So means you want to write some code many times. For that, we will use the iterative statement. So we have for loop as the iterative statement. So its syntax is like that. We write for, and we will initialize a variable in the first statement. We will write three statement inside this for. The first one is initialization, second one is condition, and the third one is updatation. You will be more clear when with this. So the first one is initialization, which will initialize a variable to some value, and the second one is condition, which will check the condition after every iteration, and the third one is updatation, which will update the our looping variable when after every iteration. So at what will done at first iteration, it will initialize, then check, and then it will execute. And after first execution, it will update the variable and then again check the condition. Up till the condition is true, it will execute it. So in the last example, yeah, in this only, we have seen that I is equals to 0, and we are checking for I is less than 10. So this loop will run for exactly 10 times. Why it will run for 10 times? We are starting from 0 and go up till 9. At the 10th iteration, it will break out of the loop. So we have another question for you. So suppose you are given a value of A as 12 and B as 8, and you will check some if and else condition, and you are printing the value of A. So please, everyone, write in the comment box what will be the output on the screen. So everyone, write in the comment box what will be the answer of this. What is the output on the screen? Yeah, some students have given the correct answer. So yeah, the answer is 8 only. So what here is done, that it has two variables A and B. The value of A is 12 and B is 8. So it will check some condition whether the value of A is less than A modulo B. What is the value of A modulo B? The value of A modulo B is 4 and the value of A is 12. So this condition becomes false. So as soon as this condition becomes false, it will go inside the else loop and assign the value of B to A. So value of B is 8. So the A value of A become 8 and it will print 8 on the screen. Then we will read functions and methods. So what are functions and method? Suppose you have to do some operations and you want to do some calculations. For example, you have to calculate a to the power p. So either you and you have to you want to calculate a to the power b many times inside your code. So either you can write every time the uh, method of calculating a to the power b, the code for calculating a to the power t everywhere you want, where you want a to the power b, or you can reuse your code. So for reusing your code, you can write a function. So function or methods. So function or methods are used for reusing the code. So you will, once you write your code inside the function, then you can call this function whenever you need to execute some operations. So for example, here I have written the power function. We will take two arguments a and b and return a to the power b. So this will take two arguments a and b and return a to the power b. So yeah, so we will read what is written here. Suppose you want to perform some operation many times when required. So either you can write operation several times or write a function for it. What I have told, it is written here only. And yeah, so third line, method get finished as soon as return statement is executed. Lines after the return statement are not executed. So what does this mean? This means that when you, as soon as you encounter the return statement, you will break out of the loop. You will not execute any further statements which are written inside the function. So what are return statements? I will tell you. So yeah, so this is the syntax for declaring the method. So what are they? What are these things? I will tell you. So the first one is access specifier, and the second one is return type, and the fourth one is name of the method which is given by the user, and the fourth one is parameters which are provided by the user when it is calling the function. And there are inside the curly braces there's a code written inside it. So what are access specifiers? So access specifiers tells the Java that who can access your functions. So for example, you have created a function inside one file and you want to execute the function from the another file. So the private when you use the private access specifier, so you wouldn't able to execute access the function from the other file. You will be only allowed to access the function from the same file only. Then you have second, which is protected. So what protected do? You protected allowed your function to allowed from any of the file inside the same project. So from any file inside the same project you can access the function. And the third one is public, which will allow the you to access the function from other projects also. So and the next one is return type. So here we have understand what is this, and we have now gone to this, what is return type. So return type is of any data type which I have told you, or there are many other also data types. So it will have return type, return any data type including void also. Means void means you are not returning anything, you are not returning anything. Then the fourth one is method name. So what is method name? It is given by the user and it cannot have names which are predetermined keywords of the Java. And parameters. Parameters are the values which are passed by the user to the function. Parameters are the value which are passed by the user to the function for the calculation. For some calculations, we can pass multiple parameters to a function. So here is an example. We have write int c is equals to product of and we have passed two values inside it, and the function is written. So it will return a into b. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Okay. So I will repeat specifiers. So what are specifiers? Um, Yeah, give me 1 second. Yeah. So what are access specifiers? So basically there are three types of access specifiers which will tell you from where you can access this method or this variable. So it will tell the Java from where the user can access this method or variable. For the first one is private access specifier, which will tell that your method or variable wouldn't be accessed from any other file from any other file. Only the file in which the variable or method is declared can access the function or variable. And the second one is protected. Protected means you can access the method or variable from any file inside the same project. Means for example, you have a class and you have written some codes inside it, and you are accessing the same code same you are accessing the method from the different class. So protect allowed you this, but private wouldn't allow it. And the public is means your method is public, you can access the method from anywhere. So yeah, then yeah, I will go to this. In this we have created a variable c, and we have called the function product of a comma b, where we have passed two values 5 and 7. So when we write this, it will go up to this. So what is written here, it is of public data type, it is of public access specifier. So this function can be called from anywhere. It has int return value, so it will return an integer value. Its name is product, and it will take two parameters a and b. So yeah, we have passed two parameters a and b, and we will return a into b. So it will return the product of 5 and 7 to it. So the value this will assign the value of the right to left. So it will assign the value of product function, which is a into b, to c. So the value of c become a into b. So it will output 35 on the screen, because we are outputting the value of c on the screen. So next is classes and objects. So yeah, in Java we mainly use classes and object. We will create a class and make its object so that our code run very smoothly. So for example, we have a class of car, which contains some data members and some methods. So for example, we have data members like model, car, color, brand, and we have methods like speed and size. So what is this? This will tell the model of the car, color of the car, brand of the car. So so uh, we will create uh, we will create three objects of the class. The first uh, in the first object we will assign the model like Ertiga, and then the second we will assign a color like maroon, and the brand as Maruti. And we have another object, we will create another object like sec for the second car. So for all the cars we will create a new object. So this is a class and we are creating a object of it. Since different cars is different value of the data members, and they can, but they have these data members as its member, and they can access these methods. So it is very good for us to create a class and make its object for to get the good code and good way of dealing with it. So yeah, next is classes and objects. So suppose you need to store the roll number and name of a student for of your class, then you have to take two variables on your or you can create a class of it. So suppose you are a teacher of a class, and you want to store the roll number and name of the student of your class. So you have two options. Either you can create two variables, the name variable and the roll number variable, or for every student, or you can create a class of student, and you will create every student as an object. You will treat every student as an object, and will create objects of each student and assign give them roll number and name. So yeah, this will clean our specify very cleanliness. With the help of classes and object, our code becomes very clean. So that's why we use classes and objects. And Java is purely based on oops programming, so that's why we have to do everything with the help of classes and objects only in Java. So objects is a variable of a class data type. So actually class is nothing but a data type only, and objects are nothing but a variable of the class data type. Means objects are like variables of a data type which is a class only. So, and objects and classes cannot be named as keywords. It is similar to that for the previous ones, the functions, variables, all that class. None one is named as keyword. And the next, yeah. So here we came up with another question. So in this, we have created a variable C, and we have a call for an operation function in which we have passed a one argument, and we are returning some value from this. So I want to ask you, what is the value which is returned from this? So can you tell what is the value which is returned from this function? Take your time and give the answer. Yeah, so I will repeat the question again. So in this question, we have created a variable C of integer type, and we have called for an operation, or which is a function, which is a method, and we have passed the value 6 inside it. And we will returning something from this function, and we have saved the value inside C, and we have printed the value of C. So just try to go with it. What is going on here? What is going in the function, and what is the calculation done inside the function? What the calculation we are doing inside this function? So yes, Krishna Agarwal has read the correct answer, which is 21. Yeah, so it will return the sum of first six numbers. It will return the sum of first six numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 6. So the value of the sum of first six number is 21. So what is going on here? I will explain you. So we have called for an operation, and we have passed 6. So the value of b becomes 6, and we have created a some variable which value is 0, and we will iterate. We will iterate through a for loop through 0 to b, and we are adding the value of I to the sum. So we are assigning the value of sum plus I to the sum. So do not think that it is written mathematically wrong, that we are equating sum to sum plus I. It is not mathematical error. We are assigning the value of sum plus I to sum. This is the assignment operator. This is not the comparison operator. It will not compare the left value with the right value. It will assign the right value to the left value. So it will assign sum plus I to sum. So here we are going from 0 to b, which is 6. So we are summing 0, 1, 2, 3 inside the sum. So yeah, it will return the sum from 0 to 6, which is in actually 1 to 6 only. So the value of C become 21, which is the sum up to 6, and we will print it on the screen. So if you guys have any doubt regarding anything which I told you earlier, you can ask in the comment box. If you have any doubt inside if, or you have any doubt inside for statements, anything, you can ask me inside the comment box. I will wait for 2 minutes for your doubts. So please write in the chat box if you have any doubt inside anything above, or else write clear if you are clear with everything. If you don't have any doubt, you just write clear in the comment box. Yeah, Vishal, I will tell it later how to use class in our program. We will tell it later. Anything above, if you have any doubt inside the above thing which I have told you, you can ask. Yeah, Sachin, in which thing you have confusion? Just write. What is your confusion? Yeah, Anshu, if we assign sum is equals to 1, then it will return 22, because the initial value of sum becomes 1, and we are adding the sum from 1 to 6 to 8. So it will have 1 as its initial value. So it will return 22 besides of 21, which is the sum from 1 to 6. Yeah, so if no one has any doubt, then we will go further. So here we have declared a class, student class, in which we have created some variables, and we have created some methods also. So I will explain you it fully. So in this student class, we have created two variables, roll number and name, of different data types. The first one is of int data type, and second one is of string data type. Both are private. So you cannot access these functions from another class. You cannot access these variables from another class. You have to use uh, means when you if you use access these variables from another class, then Java will give you an error. And it has some methods which have public access, means anyone can access these methods. Anyone can access these methods, so these are public. So yeah, public, we have a public int get roll number, so it will return int type value which will be a of roll number, and public void set roll number. So what is void means, so it will not returning anything. It just performs some operations and then stops. It will not return anything uh, to the where when it is called. So it will take argument and it will just do some operation and will not return anything. So just like we have some methods, more methods also. So what are, how to use it? So yeah, in next slide you will see like that we have a main class. This is different class from the class which we have earlier, the student class. So from the main class we are creating a object of a student class. So we have, for example, we are creating a object of student class. So first we write, while creating an object of a class, first we write the name of the class. So first we will write student, which is the name of the class, and then we will write the name of the object which we want to assign, which we want to give as a name. So we will write the name of the object. It is user's choice what the name the user want to give. Here I have given the student with small s, and I have assigned the value of new. This is the keyword in Java which is used for uh, which is used to call this constructor, which is a constructor in Java. And we have called the constructor and pass one and Ansh to it. So what this will do, so here we have for every class we can create a constructor. Means for initializing a object, we will call this constructor to initialize any object. So it is just like a functions only. It will take inputs and do some operations. So it will take roll number and name as an input and do some operations on it. So yeah, when we create a new object of a student, it will it will give roll number 1 to the roll number variable of this object, and it will give Ansh as the name of this student object named as Ansh. Then we are outputting the student println student dot get name. So we are using the get name functions. So what? Yeah. So is it visible now? Everyone will write in the chat box. Is it visible now? Can anybody write on the chat box? Is it visible? Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Here from here we have a call the student dot get name function, which is what get name function do. Get name function will return the a string which is the name of the student. So in here student dot get name have the value the name of the student. So we are outputting the name of the student. So it will output uns on the screen. So here the question came, why wouldn't we use directly student dot name? Why are we using the student dot get name? Can anybody write in the chat box why we are not using student dot name directly? We can also do it, no, student dot name has value Ansh, so we can use it also. Why we are using dot get name? Can anybody write in the chat box why we are using student dot get name besides of using student dot name directly? Yeah, very good, Vishal. Yeah. So since the
name has private access, so we can't access it from the another class. So we have to use the get name function which has public access. The get name function has public access, so we can access it from the another class. We can't access name directly from the other class. So if you write student.name here, then you will get an error. And then we are using student.set roll number to set the roll number of the student, and just like that only. We are setting the roll number of the student as 5 in this line, and we are using int c is equals to student.sum. So sum is also a function inside this which take a and b and return the value of a plus b. So here the c get the sum of a and b, and we are calling this method from a object with the help of object. So we came with now object oriented programming. What is object oriented programming? So actually, Java is purely based on object oriented programming only. In object oriented programming, everything is treated as objects. For example, you want to create a Pokemon game, for example. So you will treat every Pokemon as like a object only, which has its name, its ability, and have some methods which can Pokemon can fight also. It has some health also. Pokemon has some health also. So so object oriented programming will work on objects only. So matlab, so means it in Java, object oriented programming will purely work on objects and classes only. So code become organized and easier to understand with the help of object oriented programming. Our code become very well organized and easy to understand. Means if you create a object of any classes, then you can directly access its methods or its variables by with the help of dot operator. Besides you are creating very besides you are creating very bunch of variables inside your main class only, you can directly create an object of a class, and with the help of dot access specifier, you can access its variables and its methods. Java is an object oriented programming language. Yeah, so Java is purely based on OOPS concept, so it is an object oriented programming language. So in today, every language is an OOPS works on OOPS concept only. Everything in Java is associated with class and objects. So yeah, the main function of the Java is also the class, which is the main class. So we will not do anything without the help of classes and methods inside the classes and objects inside the Java. We have to use classes and objects only inside the Java. It is good for managing our data. It will manage our data very it will handle our data very cleanliness, with the help of very cleanliness, and very easy to understand to other users which will read this code. When because the code is not written by any single person, it is written by many persons inside the jobs or inside very big companies. The code is written by many persons. So when the one user write the code, then it will very easy for the other user to understand it with the help of classes and object. Yeah, so oops concept has basically four concepts. In OOPS, we read four main concepts. The first one is abstraction, second is encapsulation, third one is inheritance, and the fourth one is polymorphism. So, what is abstraction? So, yeah, the abstraction is the ground level implementation. The ground level implementation is hidden from the programmer by reducing them to a function call. So, yeah, what does this mean? So for example, you want to deliver some packets to some parcel. You want to deliver some parcel. So what is the steps you will do to deliver some parcel? You will get call restaurant dot give parcel to delivery boy, First of all, you give parcel to delivery boy, then gps dot set to vehicle dot start, gps dot reached consumer address, then vehicle dot stop, deliver, boy dot give food, and then this. So it is very big code, big bunch of code. So you will hide this code from the users directly access. You will write whole this code inside an another function which is named as deliver food. So if the user want to deliver a food, then they can directly call the deliver food function. So what does this deliver food function do? It will execute this whole code with the help of only with the help of single function. So it will execute whole code with the help of single function. So this is known as abstraction. Means the ground level implementation of the code is hidden from the user. We will give user only a single function which will more clear our code, and it will also decrease the size of our code, because if the user want to deliver the food many times, then they have to write this whole code many times. So you have to in actually you have to reuse your code as much as you can. And then encapsulation. So what is encapsulation? Data members can be hidden from direct access of the programmer by providing public accessible getter or setter methods as desired. So what does this mean? This means that the uh, direct access of the variables or the methods is hidden from the user. You cannot directly access them by making them private. Instead of that, we will create some methods for the for to change the value or to get the value of the variables. So yeah, for example, we have created a class of cat which has two variables, hunger and name. So the name includes the name of the cat, and the hunger includes the hunger of the cat, how much hungry the cat is. So we will have private access specifier of these two variables. Means they cannot be accessed from another class. They can be accessed from this class only. And we have created three functions which have public access. Means they can be accessed from any class. For example, get hunger, get name, set name. So what does this get hunger, get name, set name? These are the getter and setter functions. We will call them getter and setter. So they will get hunger means getting the value of hunger. So it will return the value of hunger to the wherever it is called. So it will return the value of the hunger whenever it is called. And the get name function return the name when it is called. And the set name will set the name of the cat as what we want to set its name. So we cannot directly access them. We are using functions for it. So it will be very helpful to very it will made the code very easy to understand by reading it. So yeah, we will call like for example, here we have created a object of a cat as a cat is equals to new cat, and we have set its name as Lucy. So we have used set name function for the Lucy, and then we will get the name of the cat by using cat dot get name. And yeah, so what if you write that like cat dot hunger is equals to 7? What does this line mean? This line means that you are setting the hunger value of a cat as 7. So is it correct? So what does happen in this? Can anybody write in the chat box what is happen when you write cat dot hunger is equals to 7 here? Yes. Yes. It will give error because hunger is a private variable which cannot be accessed from the other class. So this is the concept of encapsulation. We will hide the ground level implement. We will hide the direct access of the variables from the different class by using some getters and setters methods. Then we have inheritance. So what is inheritance? So ability to form a child class from an existing parent class by reusing entire code of parent class as well as adding unique code for child class. So what does this line mean? This big line means. So you have a function, for example, you have a class like a vehicle class which has some methods: fuel amount, capacity, apply brakes. This is the vehicle class, and you want to create three more class: bus class, car class, and truck class. So since all these bus, car, and truck are vehicles, since all these things are vehicles, so either you can write all the methods of the vehicles inside these classes separately, or else you can inherit them from the vehicle class. You will inherit these class from the vehicle class so that they can directly access the vehicle class. They will access the vehicle class functions directly, and since it is a vehicle only, so is that it will use these vehicle class methods. So it is very good for us to inherit the bus, car, and truck as the child for from the vehicle class. So this concept is known as inheritance. Means inheriting a child from the from its parent class to use its function directly. And the next is polymorphism. Polymorphism means we are polymorphism means the certain methods or certain operators works differently when they have passed different inputs. For example, we have written 9 plus 4 is equals to 9 plus 4. So what does this will do? This will add 9 and 4 and give us 13 as output. And on the other hand, when we write cyber plus labs, so what does this do? This will concatenate both the strings to make a big string cyber labs. So do not think that this is basically a wrong syntax in Java. You can't equate 9 plus 4 as 13 like that, because you have to write only a single argument in to the left. So yeah, but it is for understanding only that for if you add cyber plus labs, then it will give you output cyber labs, and if you add 9 and 4, then it will give you 13 as the output. So the some operators and some functions will work differently for different inputs. So certain methods can be given multiple implementation based on the domain or context in which the methods are used. So the context in which the methods are used, they will work differently. For example, you want to you have a shape class, and you have a triangle, rectangle, and circle class. So you want to call the area, since all the three shapes have area, but the area of all the three shapes are calculated differently. For one you will do pi r square, for one you will do half into base into height, for one you will do breadth into height. So with the help of single area function, you can calculate area for all the three classes, all the three shapes. So this is the polymorphism. Means by writing the same name of the function, you can calculate different, you can do different operation, and you can calculate the different values. Yeah. So by this, I will end the introduction to Java class, and I will give you 5 minutes. If you have any doubts inside this, you can ask in the comment box. I will clear all your doubts. So if you have any doubts, please write here. Please write in the chat box if you have any doubt. Okay, so polymorphism. So yeah, polymorphism means that means you will by writing same name of the function, it will do different operations. Means by writing area, you can calculate the area of a triangle also, you can calculate the area of rectangle also, or you can calculate the area of circle also. By writing same name and passing different type of parameters or arguments, your code will run differently. So this is the polymorphism. So now is it clear? Polymorphism means it is like that for same thing. To calculate the same thing, but you will pass different arguments. Okay. So by here, I will hand over the session to Tarun sir to take the live coding of the workshop. And so now we will start the workshop. So yeah, from this I'm stopping now.
Hello. So, hello everyone. Am I audible? Just write +1 in chat box if I am audible. Okay, so we will be starting the live coding part. So open up your Android Studio. Open your Android Studio. I'm giving you 5 minutes. Hello. So all of you just open your Android Studio so we can proceed with the live coding part of this session. I'm giving you all 5 minutes. Just open it. So we'll be starting at sharp 9:25. And call your friends, share the link to your groups and all. Only 35 students are present now. Also write done if you opened up your Android Studio. Anything +1 done, anything. So that I have idea. Till now, if anyone have a doubt in XML part regarding the previous session, any doubt, if anyone is facing any some error or something like that, you can ask that. So please show the XML code. Okay, this is what our XML code is. So which thing you want to see in this code? Anything that is not clear, you can ask. No one is having any issue. So maybe we can start with the Java part. If everyone is ready, just write +1 so that I can start. Okay. So anything other thing, just you want to ask something from Android Studio, any doubts? Okay, cool. We'll start with the Java part. What's the issue? Sir, my timer text view is not working properly. Not working, it is not visible. Maybe you face issue in constraining it. You put the constraints in the similar fashion only, no? For the text view of timer. It is a text view only. Just who was this question? Ayush Kumar. Okay, so Ayush, just look here. I am going to delete this and again adding it. So just to do simple thing, write a text view, use wrap content, also give a ID, give text view to something like that. And then just constraint it for right to the right of parent, left of parent, write some text in it, 0, add text size, maybe somewhat 36 SP, text color, black, and just move this and constraint it to the top of the image. Here in this XML file, I give this image view match parent and then set the margins. You can also do like that, set it as wrap content and accordingly you can work with that. It is same. I wish now it is clear or not. So how to connect to mobile? You have activated your developer mode now, Chaitanya. Just activate your developer mode and go to the developer options and open the USB debugging. And after opening that USB debugging, connect with the USB and your device will be visible over here with the device name. You can choose the drop menu and then maybe in those options it is visible. You need to activate the USB debugging also after enabling the developers mode. Then it will be visible. So now we'll starting with the Java part. So before completely starting with the coding this app, first is just see the demo of the app, what we are going to build after this session, and what is the outcome of this session. So after this session, we have this text view. We just enter any integer value, which is the time in seconds, and then after entering the value, we just simply press go, and then the timer will run. And after completing the timer, the image will change. This is what our app will be after this session. So now, before writing the code for this app, just I want to introduce some basic functions which are very frequently used while writing code in Java in this Android part. First of all, I want to tell you about something that is on click listener. So for that, I want you to just write a variable button. Declaring a variable button, you have to initialize it. That variable is find view by ID. After the ID of that button is, just check the ID in your XML file. What is the ID of your button? Mine ID is button only. Check yours and then write r.id dot your ID. Now, using set on click listener, we can write the code that we want to execute on clicking that button. So, what is the syntax of that? We write button dot set on click listener. Then write new view dot on click listener. Choose the first option, view dot on click listener, and this will give you the function named on click. Up till now, it is clear. I'm moving very slow so that you all can write easily. Is it clear? You wrote up till now, no? Okay. So we'll be making a toast on clicking this button. Toast are basically just the messages, we just the prompt messages. So basically this only. First argument is context main activity dot this. Second is the string which we want, maybe message only. And the third argument is toast dot short length. Now we will run this just to check whether this is working fine or not. Everyone write this and just run your emulator or your device and your device and check what is happening. Man, Android Studio is not building this file. If anyone done this app and getting some message over there, write +1. So the project is built, and this is what you will get on clicking this. You will get a toast that is message. Just this will happen on clicking this button dot set on listener. On clicking this function will be triggered on click, and this toast will be visible. Toast dot show. Now, how to take input from this edit text and how to write, how to display some text in using this text view. This thing we are going to see now. So similarly, here declare a text view, text view, maybe some timer display, and edit text. It is our input. So on clicking this button, we want an integer time. What we want, just declare those timer display equals to, what is the idea of this? To check it, it is text view 2. So r.id dot text view 2 and input find viewer time enter text. This is the ID for. Now for time we want input, which is input dot get text string. What using this argument, this line, what we get the input that this that we are going to enter in this field. Just keep in mind that everything that is visible on this screen is in the format of a string. So every input that are going to take inside our app, and every output, every display, that all things are in single format, that is a string data type. So we have to cast them or pass them into integer. So this string needs to be casted as integer parse int. Just wrap this line within integer or pass it as an argument and pass it, and you will get time as an integer. Now on clicking, we will get time, and how to set this time into this text view. So we will write timer display dot set text this time. Again, this is an integer, and we want to pass it as a string. So we add something like this, typecast or something. Is it clear? Just again done the. So here you can see that I inputted 100 as an input, and we will get display 100 as our text display dot set text using set text display dot set text. Hello. Hello, guys. Is the session boring or what? You are not responding. Just respond. It says can't find symbol. You getting issue with the IDs? Anyone else getting the same issue? Just check your IDs in the XML and write the same ID. Maybe if you're facing that, change the ID. Write another name of the ID. Then use. Sir, it says can't find symbol variable button. Check your variable ID in the XML part. Check whether the what is the ID of your button. Go in the XML, check the button view. Actually, the keywords are new to us, so getting time to write code. Okay. So if you think that I am writing very fast, just let me know. In this fashion, I will complete whole code and you will be writing the first line only. Just tell me.
डाउट तो आ नहीं रहे हैं, पता नहीं लोगों को डाउट है।
Little bit slow, sir. When everyone do this, just tell me so that I can start. I'm waiting for all this. It is showing return void in lines 27. Okay, line 27. No, it is not returning any void. This function returns the view using ID. We pass ID as an argument, and the function will return view. This find view by ID. This is what it is doing in line 27, similarly in 28 and 29. We are passing ID and getting a view. These all are views only. Button, text view, edit text. And you are getting it. Make sure you are right. So may I proceed? Or are you still writing this? Okay, so now just write all other text views also, other views also. This text view we need, this image view also we need for this app. Just declare this also image view, image view img. And what else we need for this? Up till now, nothing else. Just write img equals to find view by id, r dot id dot image view. Okay. We can also change the image text or content of this image. In the previous class, you in the XML you write src and then write the drawable. So this image is displaying here. You can change this with drag dag, and that image can also be displayed. So now we'll just write drag down tag only. And in on click, what we are going to do is need to have that also. So that argument. We have the time. What we want to display the time in which format? We want it to be displayed in minutes and then seconds. So convert this in minutes and seconds. How we are going to do this? Just write minutes for minutes, time divided by 60, and for the seconds in seconds equals to time modulo 60. Getting this? And then we will display this. We will write a string that is display, and we will format this in this format. Similarly, this, that is the we will what we did here, that we take the input time as an integer, converted it into minutes and seconds, and finally we have a display string which is minutes, then colon, then seconds. By using this plus symbol, we can concat an integer with a string also. This is a string, you can see very well. And then we will display this. That is timer display dot set text display. So basically, what this code will do, on clicking the button, it will show the time, entered time in minutes and then seconds. You guys did up to here? Button, image, timer, almost everything. Try to clean up your project. Just go in this section, in click in build. You listening? Parth, go in this build section, build, and then choose this clean project. Clean your project. Maybe it is having some cache, or so it is having that issue. Also match your Java code with this, having all these 3 lines. Also your main XML needs to have this written tool context. And everyone else, just tell me, stream stopped. Is it so? No. Dancing kid. Maybe you just refresh your tab. And uh, and Anyone else having issue regarding this? So we can clearly see here, I inputted the time, I entered time 100 and it displayed as 1 colon 40. Now, what we are going to use here, we are going to use a timer, countdown timer class. We are going to call a class named countdown timer here. So we create a object of that at first. Just declare countdown timer. After doing that, in the on click listener, or maybe not an on click, just above that, click, no, do this on click. Just write timer equals to new countdown timer and press enter. Did up till here? Sir, can you repeat for what of minimum and seconds? For getting the minimum minutes, we just divide the time by 60, and getting the seconds, it is just remainder on dividing by 60. This is the code for min. Um, Amili Akila. So we just simply converted the time into minutes and seconds now. The time is in seconds, completely in seconds. So we just converted it into minutes and the remainder will remain in second format only. Clear? And for this timer, countdown timer, just declare countdown timer, and then inside this on click, write timer equals to new countdown timer, and then our option will be prompt. You can clearly see. I will again write new countdown timer. The first one, the countdown timer, and then braces. Just click enter over it. And then you will get two functions implemented over here. Up till now, clear? Understood, sir. Vishal, Parth, Ayush, Krishna, clear? Okay, so now for this function, we need to parse two arguments here. First argument is time in milliseconds, and the second is what is the steps. That is 1 second. 1 second equals to 1000 milliseconds. So we just write it 1000. Now, inside the onTick basically is the function which this timer class will execute after a particular this countdown interval. After every countdown interval, this function will be called onTick. And after completing this whole interval of time, that is time into 1000, that is the proper time entered here, the on finish will be called. So inside onTick, what we are going to do after every second, we are going to check what is the value of that milliseconds at after that time, after every second, and then display that in the our time display, the text view time display. So for doing this, we just write a int time in seconds, which is this thing is this argument you can clearly see here, that is long on tick long milli unit until finish, millis until finished. So this is in long, so we need to convert it into integer. As soon as you write until finish, you get a error. So just cast it into integer. And then just cut this thing from here and just write here. Similarly do this. So what I did here, I just converted this long argument into integer, and then this time is then formatted into minutes and seconds, and created a display. And then after this, we just need to display the display variable. What is the how we are going to do this? Just tell me in the comment section that what line I need to write here, so that it will displays this integer, this string. Anyone just write. No one having idea that how to display this? No, using system.out.println, you can get the output of a code in Java. But here, what we need to do, we need to change the text view. We need to set text over this text view. What is the idea of this text view? The idea of this text view is text view 2, which, and for against that id we cast a view which is the timer display, and for this view we need to set a text. So here we have a display as a string named display, and this string needs to be shown here. That means we need to change the text of view this view. Getting idea? And what is the variable name of this view? Timer display. So timer display dot set text, and then just write display. Gamer daddy cool. You wrote right. Be fantastic. Right. Shall. Okay. So just write up till here and then rerun again. But what will happen? Time variable you created today. Actually, this time variable is passed as an argument for this timer. You can clearly see here, this is the time variable. In the time variable, we stored the input as an integer. And this integer is passed into this countdown timer function. We created the object of this class countdown timer. It is an object that is available in Java and Android. And in Android, you can create the object of this countdown timer. For creating the object, you need to pass two arguments. First is up to which value you need to execute this, and what is the interval of this. So the first argument is time into 1000. Why we multiplied it by 1000? Because we need to pass time in milliseconds, not in seconds, and 1 second is equal to 1000 milliseconds. So we multiply time by 1000. And the second argument is time interval, the time interval in milliseconds. So we want a time interval of 1 second, therefore we write 1000. So we get a apt apt time. And what is this class is going to do? This class have two functions within it that are overridden here. First one is on tick, the second is on finish. The on tick function will be triggered after every interval. And what is our interval? 1 second. So after every second, this function will be triggered on tick. And whatever the code written in this in this function, that will be executed with the argument millis until finish. Millis until finish. That how many milliseconds are currently, so that we need to before finishing this whole thing. So here I did a mistake, that this time is a millisecond and this is in seconds. So I need to convert it by dividing it by 1000. Now it will work fine. This time is in millisecond in long. So we need to divide it by 1000 and then convert it to integer. This time is in second, and then finally we can convert it into minute and then second, minute and second. We prepare a string display, which we need to set as a text for the timer display. Is it clear now? Yes, got it. That's cool. Okay, so now we will again execute this. Again, try to build this, Gradle build running, and then we'll check what is happening right now in our code. If anyone facing issue, any error, anything related to XML, regarding previous class, any other thing, you can ask. But just don't sit and see. You also write. So here I just write 10 only. Go. It did nothing. But why? So here we can see that on clicking this go button, it is doing nothing. And this is because we created the timer, we initiate the variable, we wrote all the code, but didn't write that we need to start it. So we have to trigger it also by writing this word after this parenthesis. Or maybe in other format, you can write also, close this parenthesis, write semicolon, and then after that, write timer dot start. What this do? It will start this timer. You all got the idea why it is not running in the previous time and will run after that? Yes. So now it is built. We'll check. And it is running very fine. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. MP Akhil, Krishna, Parth, clear. Gamer Daddy, clear. So it is working fine up till now, and it is doing great thing. And what now? Just tell me what you all want me to do on finishing this. What we need to write in on finish. Clear, but still the same error in line 27. What's the error in line 27? Need void something related. What is your line 27? That is also. In my line 27, it is protected void on create. It is as are you asking about this line, or you are having different line in your code? Krishna. And others, just tell me what we need to write in on finish. You all seen that app? You all have the idea that what we need to do. Image should be changed to cracked at. Okay. Krishna, what's your error? Just tell me now. So in on finish, we will write img dot set image. Hmm. So for setting the image, we need to set the drawable. For here, you can see an example for this image view. There src, then we what we wrote here, add drawable slash egg. But how to write the similar thing in Java? To writing the similar thing, we just set the image drawable, and we need to get a drawable to set it in the image. And how we need to get a drawable? Using the get drawable function. And the get drawable function needs to pass something as an argument, which is the id of that drawable, and the ids are r.drawable.character. Also, here on finish, of the image of this app will be changed. This image view will be changed to cracked act image. But again, you will execute the code. Again, you will enter something. But at that time, the image is set to cracked act only. You will understand the sorry. You will understand this when I will just run this code, and you will see that the error we are facing. It is simply a bug that we will face, and we will check how to resolve it. Like return void, add method body, make it abstract, rename it to main activity. Okay. So you change the name of this function? You are not supposed to change the name of the functions in this Android part. In Android, the function that is needs to be on create only. The class name should be main activity only. It should be extended with app compatibility, and it needs to be protected. These four things not to be changed. If you changed any one of them, just make it clear that these things are same as you. I haven't changed anything. We declared button. Maybe figure out what's the declared. Okay. So what I was telling you that as soon as we run this app, we go click on this go. Will countdown timer will say 4, 3, and then 2, then 1. and the image will change. Then again you will, when you will execute this, again you will click go, but the image of this is changed to crackdown only. But again, on executing it again, it is not the egg image. So what we supposed to write on click, inside this on click, after getting this, just write that image should be initially set as the egg image only. So initially the image needs to be set as the egg image on clicking go, and then after the timer on finish, the image needs to be changed as egg cracked. This is the whole thing we need to do in this app. So now we need to build it again. Let's run the app. The image will change. Again run this app, and again it will start with egg image only. Now resolving the error part of this app. The first error in this app can be faced while if you do this thing. You input the time null and then enter, press enter. Then your app will crash. Has anyone faced this issue? If you entered a nothing in your app, if you did nothing and just simply pressed go button, then the app would crash. This thing just happened because of thing. Just I want to tell you about something that we hello. सर डाउट्स के लिए स्क्रीनशॉट टेलीग्राम. So up till now, all of you have completed this. Timer is working. Anyone facing issue can raise query. Yes, working. Okay, so maybe you all are fine with this and facing no issue. I just want to suggest something that on doing this, writing nothing in this and then pressing the go button, your application would crash. And this is because you have no content and you are accessing that variable. So just add this line, if text utils input not context. Make a toast. main activity dot this. The first argument is context. The second is no input error message. The third is push dot length short dot show. This will handle your error as this return statement will not allow the code beyond that to execute. So here we completed our application. Any issue, any query, you can ask anything related to the app, regarding the previous workshop, regarding this workshop. Anyone having query regarding WOC, or basically we are going to recruit you all using through WOC program that is conducted by Cyberlabs. In this, you are going to just submit the proposal, PDFs, PDF 1 or 2 page PDF, in which you need to write the way you are going to implement the project use. So please open activity main.xml and layout block. Okay. So first, I just want to tell you all about the WOC program. So the WOC that is conducted by Cyberlabs. In that, we first tell you about some projects that on which you have to write proposals. The proposal needs to be submitted in PDF format, 1 to 2 pages proposal. The proposal needs to contain the following information. First information, that how you are going, which project you choose, and how you are going to implement the uh, features of that project. All the tech stack need to be mentioned in uh, that proposal only. And for the standard format of that proposal will be provided to you in a PDF format after this workshop, or maybe in a week or two, in a week, within a week. And any other query regarding WOC, after submitting the proposals, you will be selected to work on the project that you chose, and you will be provided a mentor. And this whole contest, this whole WOC program will be of 1 month, in which you will be working on a project under the guidance of a mentor. And after completing the project, you will be evaluated on the basis of an interview round, that is a technical interview, and after finally a HR round. This is the whole recruitment process of getting into the Cyberlabs through WOC. Any issue, any query? Now you can raise your queries. Toast is kind of a pop-up. Sorry. So I am waiting for 5 minutes. If any one of you having query, any issue, you can ask now. We are here waiting till 25, 22, 25. So I'm getting the same thing. Where will we get project? The site of WOC will be provided to you. The site link will be provided to you. On that site, the projects are mentioned. This project, where will we get project? Can you please clear that about which project you are asking, Vishal? The WOC or this project? Garvit. Sir, in tech interview, you should know. No, in tech interview, you are asked about the tech stack of the project that you worked upon. If you applied for Android only and you worked on a project, you will be just asked the question regarding the project that you worked, not all six division. Single project tech stacks need to be asked. Were asked for WOC only. For WOC, a site will be provided, site link would be provided for the WOC program, and on that site, all the projects will be mentioned. That link will be provided to you with all other resources of the Cyberlab recruitment process within a week. So, any other query? Okay, so enjoyed the session. Me too. Write all the code inside the onCreate function, not outside. This thing need to be keep in mind that you have to write all the code in onCreate. Basically, onCreate function contains all the views, all the functions. What he rightly did, I don't know. Okay, let's check.
किचन घर 5-2 मिनट में होगा खाना ठंडा हो रहा है
So, any other query? Maybe I can end. Maybe we should end the session. Okay, so now we are closing the session. Great session. Thank you guys. Bye bye. Good night.